Yeah, I mean, I guess part of the big story is that as of age 11, 12, I started starving myself. And I got into yoga very young. I got into yoga around age 12, 13 in sixth grade. Yeah, and fitness at the same time because my mother brought home the Jane Fonda workout and the Raquel Welch yoga video. I grew up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, off the grid at a solar home. And so we didn't have, good TV. Like we actually had a satellite dish if it were reliable, but she brought home those beta tapes and we started doing them together.
Wow.
And I soon learned that I was obsessed. I had an obsessive personality, and so I did them every single day. My mom gave up very quickly on them, but that was the beginning of my journey into my body. It was in tandem, Jane and Raquel.
Yep.
So I'm a very big fan of video media.
Yeah.
Because that's how I woke up. But my anorexia eventually converted itself into bulimia. And the bulimia was a very vivid 4-year journey that ended at age 20, from 16 to 20. And so the addict mind and the self-hatred, even though I was away from my disease, even though I was away from that acting out, the trauma that got me to that point had never fully been addressed. And I can say now at age 44, as I'm going through my second pregnancy, and having worked with a variety of different therapeutic modalities, I'm now finally in trauma therapy for the past year, and am now more concretely understanding the genesis of my diseases, the different manifestations. And it's such a relief, but it's also very horribly painful yet again.
Yeah.
Coming
at it from another angle,
thank goodness. Thank goodness the models keep evolving to give new insights.
Yeah, and to keep adding layers to integrate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And so amazing to me that someone who had taken the journey through a really tough eating disorder would get into focusing on the belly in this way that's about empowerment and health and connection and self-awareness, really, really being at home in your body. I mean, there's something really beautiful about that.
I hated myself so much, Julian. I hated my belly. I hated my belly fat. I hated my breasts. I was a hitter. I used to hit myself. And, I wasn't a cutter. People act out on themselves in different ways.
Yeah.
But I found when you find moments of relief and peace, and they are body-based, through the body relief, then you learn, I learned to befriend myself, not to love myself, but to befriend myself first. I'm still working on the love part, but the befriendship, like would I borrow a cup of sugar from me, is like, that's like my, or agave or whatever your sweetener maple syrup, stevia. We can go on. But that really, when I asked myself that question, probably maybe a few months or not long after coming up with this core integration, because when I started to work with people, and one of the first things we do in the core integration approach, and I have a whole approach called Corgus, and I've developed a ball that instead of what I used to lay down on a rolled up towel. Before that, it was a bean bag, and the bean bag idea was something an Iyengar teacher had given me.
Yeah.
When I confessed my bulimia to this Iyengar teacher who I was working with in Chicago in either the late 80s or very early 90s. But I developed this approach that integrated sensation, and that sensation inevitably leads to association or dissociation, or the intrigue of that, the investigation of that, breath awareness, and then myofascial, structural, postural awareness. All these things are so tied together.
Yeah.
And the number of people that I've been able to share these gut-based techniques with, and seeing the empowerment that comes from owning this big blind spot.
Yeah.
It covers so many different ages and stages of life, and so many people in different health conditions. So from the elite athletes who are at Rio right now, who've done these techniques, to major sports teams who I can't name who are doing these techniques, to the asthmatic woman down the street from me who I've shared the technique with, to all levels of health and wellness condition. It's empowering to locate your core.
Yeah. I mean, and this to me is, it's again one of the reasons why I said you represent to me the epitome of this sort of integrated crossover kind of journey, because you've taken this intensely personal, right, clearly intensely painful process of healing and growth and inhabiting your body, and turned it into something that you've not only ended up sharing with the yoga community and innovating a whole way of thinking about and practicing yoga, but you've crossed over into other realms as well, into fitness, into you're talking about professional athletes. Tell us a little bit about that. When did you start bridging those gaps?